today, as you probably saw in the wonderful, obviously beautiful thumbnail, we're making an aluminum plant because, yes. Now, I'm not going to make it as big as I made my last one because that was ridiculous. It was way oversized and it was not working half the time. So we're going to do it better, smaller, I hope. But first, we remove goth trees. B-U-T. Yoink. Okay, now that we have a little bit of space cleared, we need to build a platform. That's what we need to do. Platforms are always great. Let's see. What material do we want? Classic? Classic it is. Perfect. Okay, let's see. What do we want? How do we want this to look? We're going to need to collect water from this water source. Do we want square? Round? I think we go square because the last build we made was round. That was the steel plant. All right, tiny build progress update. So, I did a little work. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just throwing stuff down, but I've made these little walkway sections that lead up to this little section where we got this thing. These pipes here, probably just decoration, not going to be used. This one literally just goes into the floor here in the waterfall. But I think this looks pretty good. It just needs a little bit of adjustment, specifically with this particular wall or thing that's being annoying. So we're just going to remove that. Oh, and that does not need to be there. So this is what I got. This platform is what I'm going to work on next. So I'm going to do that. Yes. All right. So progress update. I've built a little bit, as you can clearly see. We've got a location, or as I might call it a little better, an area for factory buildings to be built. I don't know why that's clipping. I think this looks pretty good, except for a couple of clearly weird clipping happening. We got this rounded half dome location here, and then we've got this big open, obviously, hallway, as you saw me walk through, where we can put factory buildings. The only really annoying thing is these stupid plants that just, they don't blow up. It's annoying, but you know, it is what it is. We've got space down here for this. I don't know what this is. I just thought this was really cool. This roof looking thing, which is just using a bunch of roofs clipping together like crazy. I think it looks really cool with the windows pretty low to the ground. Anyway, that's what we got here. Behind this wall, by technical terms, we actually do have an entire location we could put belts. It's not much space, but it's space if we need be to place belts. I think we'll probably be okay on space. Anyway, from outside, it looks like this. We got this. I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, it's maybe a little annoying that this rounded section doesn't line up. Take that, people with OCD. I have OCD. It kind of bothers me now that I brought it up. I never really clued into I knew it was not lined up. I did that on purpose because it made roundedness like perfect, almost essentially perfect for what I wanted with the corners connecting the glass. It made it about as good as I'm gonna get it. So it's not exactly perfectly lined up, but it's okay. It's fine. Another progress update is these windows over here. I don't know what I've been doing. I just kind of started taking painted beams and just doing random sizes of them and placing these things randomly on the beams themselves. And I think it looks pretty cool. Obviously, we need a lot of like refineries, or do we need refineries for this? Is that a requirement for making? Yes, to make like aluminum scrap and aluminum solution and whatever we need. Probably this to make, yeah, we need that to make this. So we're gonna need these, but I don't know if you noticed, but these are a little tall compared to the height of the building I made. So yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I think I'm gonna need to build a bigger section of the factory, connect primary section of the factory. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I thought maybe I could squeeze these fellers into here and try and make them fit well with the design, maybe with like the smokestack sticking out and like smoke pluming out of them or whatnot. Maybe that might look cool. That's a wall. I don't know though. We'll have to see. I could always adjust this and make it so that it actually fits the buildings within the factory, but I kind of do want these smokestacks to plume outside of the somehow. I don't know. I'll have to probably line them up because that's annoying that that's not even lined to the center. I'll figure that out. That's future Plinko problems. For now, I need to just expand. So that's what I'm going to do now. More expansion. All right. So another little progress update. I say little progress update. It's not a little progress update, as you can clearly see. I've finished this entire section of the big factory, except for like interior decoration related stuff. I got to figure out what I'm going to do about it. But as you can see, I've done a lot of work. I made this rounded window here. I made this roof section, and like it all connects. There's lots of space in here. We got this tall section for It's just odd decoration, just so it looks good on the outside. I put a train station in. I quite like where I shoved this train station. It's a pretty neat little section for it. I put this door. I don't know why, but I put this door right here, and it goes outside. Do some more decorated dead stuff. If we just fly a little bit here, obviously the train track goes into the station, which is just slotted in this little section down here between this section of the factory and this segment of the factory. I realized when I built this, I was like building it, and then I finished building it, and I was like, well, this is not even remotely close to enough space for anything I need to do associated with like making aluminum. So I was like, I need more space. So I started shoving another giant platform up here. And yes, that's where I'm at right now. I just, decorated this. I curved this, like I did a couple iterations for this section here. So I made this like a square. It was like square, as you can see right here where like the texture lines follow. That's the same line that it followed before. But then I was like, that doesn't look really good. So I decided to round the, or not really round it, more just like make it smoother and follow along the, just a second. Hold please. I could very clearly see that and it's very much bothering me. Anyway, I tried just made it like follow the riverbed a little bit better, so it's a lot smoother, and I think that looks much better. Track, I just kind of nicely curved it out, made this nice little bridge structure so that it looks like the bridge is held up over top of the water. Built this little retaining wall, I guess, just for the track to be built on. Then the track just goes up the hill, up this superiorly steep section. I hope the train can make it up that. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of adjustment, and then the train can just go wherever it needs to go. I don't know where it would need to go. Back over here, I just did some wall decoration. I used like metal beams, blah 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 with a little bit of beam connectors, and I think it looks pretty good. It's just to fill in this blank space so it looks better. And the water's just splashing all over it. Oh hey, there's a slug underneath there. Yoink. Built these windows that aren't looking at anything because it's just the rocks on the other side. It's just for decorative purposes on the outside, so it doesn't look flat and irony. But yes, I've got walkways here so you can access stuff associated with the train station from the walkways, if you so desire. I haven't worked on this side of the train station just yet because I haven't figured out what I wanted to do with where I'm gonna actually shove the track, because yeah, this is not a ideally good location to be dealing with a train, if you didn't already notice. I put the train here, then promptly realized that this is not ideal for building a train track, like in the slightest. Like no, like this is rough. I'm gonna have a lot of fun making that look good and work, so I'm excited for that. But this is what this window over here looks like over here. It's just rounded, this little box. I did a little decorating, obviously. I don't know if I showed this before, but I put image like label signs or whatever they're called and made them so they're bright. Oh, they do have text on them. Set text here. I could put secret messages in there and you'd never even know they're there. See, ignore this. And I think that looks pretty good for the front of the build. Roof wise, the roof ain't too interesting. I just made this like alternate in like the distance it's sitting out, just because it just adds a little bit of texture to it, the roof, so it's not just a complete flat o-ring, I guess, if you want to call it that. The next project obviously is this big platform over here, and I don't have a clue what I'm gonna do. I just spent like 5 hours working on this, so I'm not excited for this. This video is gonna take a while. It's taken a while. I hadn't even started editing it yet. Woohoo, build time. Okay, so yeah, I finished it. I finished this whole section. This should be, I say should be, enough space to build like factories and stuff, taller, larger factories such as our good friend the refineries. Although arguably it kind of would be nice if the smoke was coming out of the building so we're not like getting carbon monoxide poisoning on the inside, but that's okay. We don't need to put smoke outside. It's fine. The next thing obviously we need to do is actually build the factory itself inside with the assemblers and all the factory bits and conveyor belt spaghetti mess, but that will be next episode because I'm going to end this episode because I want to get an episode out to you guys of this game. And I think building the building itself is episode enough for you guys, and a lot of you guys are really wanting to see more of the final product of the build because I didn't do a good job showing the final product of builds off last time I made a Satisfactory video, so today we're showing it off. So this is obviously what it looks like inside. Made this big box right here going across, and then I have 2 other windows that were here. Decided that this one would look cool if it just continued going straight across, and I think it looks really nice. I like the large open space with all the sun roof kind of things, like the big window roofs and stuff. It looks good. The control room section looks pretty good as well. There's a couple of roofs of light and obviously 2 different glasses, and you
ability to see down into the rest of the factory. This walkway is very handy for just getting down here to check everything, which this will continue once I get all the buildings in and understand where things are and where things need to go, which is obviously the next episode thing. Built like a little decorative stuff with literally just decorative items. Maybe the conveyor belt might be used. Who knows? We'll see. Decoration, decoration, more decoration. Look at this decoration. Beautiful decoration. Oh god, look at that. More decoration with a little bit of actually useful stuff in here. So yes, this has all been explained before, but just real quick, obviously the items that are running through here will be on the sign and how many per minute is supposed to be running on these belt lines, blah 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 blah. Easy enough. Just a line to check that everything is running and nothing clogs. More space for building. I quite like this room. It looks really cool. I like actually really like the look of this. It looks like kind of like a bunker kind of thing, but I think it looks cool in here. We've got the train station slotted in the center of the factory, so everything can just run in and out of the factory, and all of the item conveyor belt bus system, I guess if you will all be contained up top here. I don't think the belt spaghetti will take too much of this space up here, so we might even be able to throw down maybe a couple of constructors on here and stuff, but I think maybe we just save this for belts itself, because there's probably going to be lots going in and out of this factory. Just even future down the road, I think it just would be safe. Just to be safe, we should leave it open. Outside, we got the tracks. I love this bridge. I love what I did. I love how this is curved and follows the river with this bridge that is one column was not painted properly. Correction, 2 of them were not painted properly. I don't know if I added this in the clip earlier, but I added a little bit more structural support to the bridge and I think it looks better. Actually, you know what? I think that was already in there. But I did add the railings to the bridge here. So now there's railings. So if I want to, as the player, walk across, now it's technically might reach the safety standards. This doesn't, but obviously here you're just gonna fall in the water and sploosh, or just water bucket clutch like Minecraft or something, you know? But I love the look of this, just this section right here. Looks great. Just with the waterfall, the curved thing, the track and the bridge, just minty. Outside wise, obviously I was like, I want to go with a very cubey build in the beginning. I said very square, but obviously I kind of went rounded in a couple of occasions, such as like on the other side over there's that rounded window, these rounded sections following the riverbed, these rounded kind of rounded sections, this rounded end on this piece, and just, but for the most part I think I went with pretty square. Like we got like different squares going different angles. Like we got this wall at a different angle than this wall and that wall, right? And this is coming out at a different angle than all of that. It all just pieces together, I think, pretty well. It's chaotic all over the place, but that tends to be my build style. Chaotic and all over the place. I tried to follow the same relative theme with the same windows, same like building blocks and stuff. Very metallic, kind of symbolizing an aluminum factory underneath, or on the inside, I guess. So obviously this is what these big windows over here look like from the outside. They got the basic default basic wall, literally called basic wall. Apparently I didn't know that. Just the basic wall at the bottom, which I quite like. It looks pretty good. Just a little different from the iron. Break it up a little bit. This wall over here, not exactly super interesting. Doesn't need to look interesting. It just doesn't look interesting. Maybe I'll think of something to do. Probably add some painted beams or something to this to make it look a little bit better, but I'm not sure right now. I think it's just fine for now. Big, flat, symmetrical wall. Over here, this little corner looks pretty good. Radiation. Oh, what the frick are you? Anyway, yeah, that's the gist of it, man. That's pretty much the gist of it. More big windows, lots of big windows. Just big windows everywhere, because I love putting big windows on the factory, being able to look at. Obviously, a lot more work to do, because I literally need to go through like this on all of these pillars and do this. And this is going to take like probably hours, but I feel like it will be so worth it in the end to do this. It's just going to take me forever. Past me, why would you do this? This just adds texture to the iron beams and stuff. I might just literally contain this decoration standard to the lower half of the factory and not do these big, tall, giant pillars. I think these are fine. We'll see. Maybe next time I start the video, when we actually start building the factory, maybe all that stuff will be on there. Nobody's gonna, it's not super interesting placing a bunch of signs and literally copying and pasting the decoration onto all of them. This is not entertaining. Like, does this look entertaining to you? Because I don't think so. But that looks way better. It would look really good if all of the pillars had that on it. So that's a project for me later when I have nothing to do and like YouTube to watch or something. That's what I could do for that. Hello, these are painted. But anyway, that will be all for the first part of this. Yes, we need that. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? Hi, what are you? Anyway, as I said, that'll be all. I hope I gave a good tour of the factory. from the exterior. I hope. Not really sure. There's not really much to show, I guess. It's just like the same thing over and over again. It's nowhere. Like, and I mean nowhere near as big as my last aluminum plant. The last one was shoved right here in this like, it's probably easier if you can see my cursor. Right up in this little section right here. That's where the last one was shoved, and it curved all the way over to that piece over there. But now this is just right here, and it's small, tiny, and probably effective. And I'm not going to use probably majority of the space for a while. Yes, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.